Hi, welcome to Hope in the Light of Suicide. I'm Tammy White. We're in a new year. Happy New Year. I hope everybody got through the holidays the best that they can. Want to start off the new year with, of course, thanking Area 52 Media Group and John and Austin for helping us put this show out there for you guys. We wouldn't be here without them, that's for darn sure. It's a great team. Great team. And also, I want to thank our sponsor, DeLynn Gaston with the mortgage firm. Anything mortgages. I don't know. Down here, I know things are going crazy. I can't even keep up with it, but she's your gal. Anything mortgages, refinancing, any new buyers. Just please keep her in mind because if she doesn't have the answers, which I would be totally surprised that she didn't, she will find them for you. So, again, this is the new year. This is our first show back from the holidays. Hope, like I said in the beginning, I hope everybody made it through the holidays the best that they can. I had all these big list of things and dreams of things that I was going to get done while taking a couple of weeks off, and of course, things just didn't happen the way that I would like them to happen, but we did get a couple things accomplished. So, and that's the thing is, even though we think that we can do a lot more than maybe what we think we can do, it's okay to not do. It's sometimes it's just the way it is. Things come and they come around and they hit you when you're not, maybe not actively thinking about it all the time or something. And then it just something, hits you. I knew that coming up to the holidays, was going to be the second anniversary of losing our mom. She passed away on December 22nd, 2 years ago. And, you think you're going to be okay and you're going to, that it's coming up, and then you just can't get through it the way that you were hoping to. Also, then I had mentioned before on our last show or a couple shows before, that I'd lost one of my cats to cancer quite quickly, and so. And it's just the way I am. So just the 1 month anniversary of losing him was on Christmas Day. But all in all, the holidays were really pretty good. I spent Christmas Eve at my nephew's, with the family and my great nieces and their cousins and my great nephew. And we had a really good time. It was really nice, and it was good seeing the kids, my great nieces and nephew. My great niece is going to graduate from high school this year. She's taller than me. My great nephew is in, I don't know, 6th or 7th grade, and he's taller than me. It's crazy, but that's when I get to spend kind of the most time with them, a little bit, because they're off in so many directions playing sports all year long. It's really kind of crazy. So it's kind of a catch up time, even though we only live like a half hour apart. But the kids are just they're very active, and I'm really really grateful and for how they're raising their kids. They're engaged, and they're really good kids. So what was I going to talk about? Actually, I made the title of the show "The New Year, What Now?" And our last show, I was like, okay, we're going to come up with all these things, and we're going to put all this energy out into the universe to start the new year off. Kind of happened. Kind of not. It kind of is, like, what now? There were some things that I wanted to get squared away with the show that I didn't quite get totally done yet. So we'll be working on that. Just getting our lineup of guests for the year. I've got a list of contacts to invite more guests onto the show this coming up year. Um, I had a conversation with my nephew at Christmas, and gave him an assignment. He's on our board of directors, and he had spoken about a couple of years ago putting together possibly a fishing tournament as a fundraiser for the foundation. He loves to fish. Bobby loved to fish. His grandfather, Bobby's dad, loved to fish. So maybe an event in April of next year, which will actually be the 10th anniversary of us losing Bobby. So, yeah, coming into this year, we're coming in to year number 9, and you just kind of, I don't know what happened in these last 9 years. I know a lot's happened. Sometimes I feel like it hasn't, but I know it has. And I'm going to have next week, I'm going to have a little project and maybe an assignment that you all can do that I'm going to be doing, so that we can, because I've mentioned a lot before that, sometimes I feel like I am not accomplishing the things that I really think we should be accomplishing. But if you really sit down and think about it, or write it down, or look back through your phone, your pictures over the past year, month by month, and realize that, for the most part, we're moving forward and doing more than really what we think that we're doing, or what we give our own selves credit for. Other people will give us the credit, but we don't do it enough for ourselves. So, working on a little thing, and it's not something that I made up myself. It's actually from somebody that's pretty well known, and I'm gonna. It's a good way to start off the new year, I think. So I'm going to keep it a little secret just for one more week. So anyways, a few things that is starting up this year, and this is a busy week. I did take the first 2 weeks off and just started back to work Monday, and even foundation work kind of Monday. And I got a brand new calendar and started putting everything in the calendar, so I can stay on top of things. And whether you're new on this type of journey or going into 9 years, I still get brain fog really, really bad if I don't. Trying to keep my concentration. That's one thing that I'm trying to work on. Is really hard. And so having this calendar and knowing and being vigilant about writing things down, because that's the thing, if you have a calendar and you don't write things down, it doesn't do you a darn bit of good. So I've been pretty good about that, at least so far, the first week into the new year. But we rejoined Community Service Council of West Pasco, which I had mentioned a few shows ago. We got a $500 grant from them last year so that we can do our, and that's one thing that we're working on in the midst of everything. This is the journal, our Understanding Your Suicide Grief. It's going to be kind of a closed, we call it closed, but 12-week grief support group that includes a book and a journal and art therapy and stuff like that. So we're working on starting that in May. But I found out over the holiday that, and these journals, they're from, and the books, which we have featured this guy before on the show, Dr. Alan Wolfelt from the Center for Loss and Life Transition. I've met him personally a couple of years ago. He is going to be back here in February, the end of February, in Palm Harbor. He's going to be doing 2 seminars. They're free. I did contact the location, and I have it on here. Let me pull this up really quick. It's in Palm Harbor at Curlew Hills Memorial Garden. and one is an evening session, February 25th, and the other one is I think it's February 26th. Is an afternoon session. Oh no, it's a morning session, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. But I'll get you more information, definitive information, and we'll have the links in here. There they are on the Austin show on the calendar there, and I have the links for Curlew Hills. I did call them as soon as I found this out, and they didn't have any more information for me yet, or the flyers yet. So hopefully by our next show, I'm going to contact them here shortly and see if we can get a copy of the flyers, or see if they've added more information to their information. So it is a free event, but you will, I'm pretty sure, need to register for it. But I'm really super glad he's going to be here in town. He's also going to be at the Villages the 2 days after. So he's at the 25th and 26th, and at the Villages the 27th and 28th. And then he's also going to be in Jacksonville. So like I said, I'm excited about that. He is a grief expert, and he's the one who he put together this program that we're going to be bringing to our community, Understanding Your Suicide Grief. And I'm hoping, I've wanted to do this for the last couple of years, but I guess the universe just said it wasn't really right for me yet, but I'm hoping this year it will be. He has trainings and certification things, but it's trainings, and there's a couple that I really want to do, but we just haven't been able to raise enough funds for it, because it's held at his center, and so the trainings and the flight, and it's where is it? It's not in Denver. I know where it's at, but my brain is not working again. Anyways, gonna have to rent a car, stay at the hotel. It's a 4-day thing. I want to definitely do the. He has one that's suicide specific. Walking along with anyway, it's for this. And then there's a couple more that I wanted to do too that I'm trying to find. Okay, I got it. Well, I thought I had it. Yeah. Suicide grief, companioning the mourner. And I think that one's in October. And then support group facilitator training. That would be, to help me just a little bit more with our support groups that we are having and doing. And it's of course it's twofold for me. It helps me, but then it helps me because then I can help those who are going through this journey as we are, and may not be as far along as me or our co-facilitators. So I'm hoping that we can raise some more funds this year. Raising money for this cause is really difficult unless you're one of the ginormous organizations. But we're the ones that are on the ground in the community, and it's really important. It is just, I cannot emphasize how important it is. Fortunately, on our Pasco Safe, we were reported in our December meeting from the Pasco County Sheriff's Office, and of course, this is just the Sheriff's Department, not our individual police departments, that in November, we our suicide rate dropped down to 4, which May and June, April, May, June, it was like 10 to 12 a month. Those were our highest months. And then one of the other months was high again in the summertime, later in the year. But we haven't had the meeting yet, so I don't for December's numbers, so I don't know how that went. But as soon as we have, that information, because I think it's really important to share. And then, again, in our county, this is, specific to Pasco County, even those 4, the majority of them were white males 45 and older. And this is kind of like our trend in our area is the majority of the suicides in our community are white males 45 to 55 and older. So with that being said, as being a part of Community Service Council and getting the information out to the community and talking to organizations in our community is really important. So we also joined, and it was a member a few years ago, probably when we first started the foundation. It's another local really great organization in our community called Pasco Aging Network. And so we rejoined them again this year. So we'll be starting to go to their meetings. The only thing I don't like about it is their meetings are at 8:00 in the morning. And it's cold down here right now. I don't really like that very much. But we will be there for the first meeting of the year so that, again, we can get out the information and what the foundation is doing and see what, more things that the community needs are, get the information out about our support groups. I'm trying to be really vigilant. Yes, our support groups. Spring Hill, the second Wednesday of the month. So by the time when you see this, we'll have already had that one for this month. Newport Richey is the third Thursday. So next Thursday at the Oasis Coffee Spot will be the West Pasco Newport Richey support group. So we'll be able to get this information out there to these other organizations. And I am trying to be vigilant, too, about getting it out on our social media. So on the Bobby White Foundation Facebook page, there I did create events for the support groups. So so far I just have this month, but in the next few days, I'm gonna try and get through and get it scheduled for the whole year. So then it'll be done and I don't have to worry about it. It's already there. What else? Let me get this down, I think. Okay, so one of the things that I started also this year, and I'm trying really hard to stick with it. So far, it's worked every day. But along with Dr. Wolfelt, and he is excellent at writing these books. And so, and we have a few of them. We've featured a couple other ones on our show in the past. But he has one called Grief One Day at a Time. And so what it is it's a book that it's 365 days of meditations. It's little one-page things. You can get it off his off the main website. He's got a bookstore, and it has all the books that we have from him. So I'm going to read you just the quote. He has a quote for each day, and then a thought for each day, and just a little excerpt. So this one is, and I started it January 1st, and I read one every single morning, first thing in the morning, before I really do much of anything. One day I was a little bit late, but for the most part, I try and read this before I get out of bed. So this is for January 11th. So that's today when the show is going to be airing. It says, When the lethargy of grief overtakes us, we can feel as if we are moving through mud. Everything takes so much effort. We are tired physically, cognitively, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. This is normal and necessary. But sometimes we rebuke ourselves or feel guilty for being so lazy. Instead, we should flip the rebuke over and see that sometimes it is our very idleness that allows progress in our healing. The lethargy of grief nurtures our need to slow down, turn inward, and bask in being neutral. Times of not doing and simply being can allow us to discover new insights and experience breakthroughs. In our stillness, the truth may rise to the top. And then the little thought at the end is for the day. Today I will reveal in any I will revel in any idleness I may find myself experiencing. I may even set aside time for idleness. And it's just every day is just one little thing. So the quote for this day is our quote of the day, which you're going to have to wait just a few more minutes for that. So my goal is to every day, every morning before I start my day, to start my day reading the excerpt, the passage for that day. Like I said, so far I've been good. So you can get this book off his website. I'll send it to you. There's other really great books on his website. And it's he writes about, he has books for all different types of grief. He has suicide specific. He's got, for grieving parents, grieving children, pets. I actually have, I was reading it. I have one for pets. We, one of our organizations, for our Christmas party, we went to this place called Axe Hole, and it's where you do axe throwing. And I found out I'm a really good axe thrower. Well, one of the gentlemen who works there, and he's in a couple other networking groups with me, he had just lost his dog, and he's an Army veteran. I don't know if it was Army, I think. He's a veteran, and this dog traveled with him while he was in the service. It was really special to him, and he was just really distraught. I mean, it was heartbreaking. So part of what we have in the library for the foundation is every once in a while we'll get some of these books, like, from the center, and so that we have them available to give to people. And I saw him at lunch, and I didn't know he was going to be there, but I told him, I said, I have a book for you, and it's about going through the grieving process when you lose a pet. And I could sympathize because I just lost my cat, so I'm going to get that book to him. But check out his website, check out the bookstore. I totally recommend it. I can't wait to see him again and talk to him. And like I said, hopefully we can raise the funds so that I'll have the opportunity to go out and at least do one of the trainings this year, and be able to spend 4 days with him. I think it'll do a lot for my grieving process and bring a lot to our foundation so that we can bring that information to help others journey through the grieving process and doing it together. I think it's important. We have to do better as human beings with each other. So I'm kind of excited. I'm excited about it, but it's, you know, it's kind of a lot. I do have expectations, and to, you know, go forward. But again, I, like some of you, sometimes it just, you know, it just doesn't really work all that great. But we move forward bit by bit. And, you know, remember, even just one little thing, accomplishment, it doesn't have to be something big, is still a step forward. Because I don't know, I mean, at least for me, I know I'm hoping at one day, but I really don't see it happening. There's always going to be, and it's actually a physical feeling of pain that is, some days it's heavier and some days it's lighter, but it's always there. But if I can help others, educate other people, so that we can do something about this, it's not getting any better. We are still losing so many people. So our quote for today, actually from the book, is by Virginia Woolf. It is in our idleness, in our dreams, that the submerged truth sometimes comes to the top. Virginia Woolf. Just let it resonate. So be sure you put our numbers in your phone, have them memorized. The text 988 number is coming up. It's been out for like a year and a half. You can also text 741-741. Either of the 988 or the 800 number, press 1 for veterans. You just never know when you're going to need it. So please always remember, it's a new year and there's always hope. Thank you.